What's up guys, this is Cher talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'll show you how I defeated the enemy Sandino that appears in a group of 3. And right now you can fight it on the Starfiend book, but also on a new event that will be called Battle versus Sandino. And this fight is actually pretty hard. There are 3 targets, that's not so common. They will attack you with 4 different elemental types and many ailments as well, like sleep, stun, paralyze, poison, and darkness. But you should only care about slash, blunt, pierce, and hit. Mostly blunt. And the Sandinos are weak to pierce, hit a little bit to slash, but when it's just -20, you won't trigger weak damage. So you won't get stuff like Hihachi many attacks on overdrive. Okay, so based on that, we need to do AoE damage. We need to protect versus physical, hit, and survive. Well, these enemies have lots of damage on turn 1, and you need lots of defense boosts, passives that increase damage taken, and all of that. One good thing is that they have like mostly indirect attacks, so the Mystic Line formation is really useful. That decreases indirect damage by 30%, and if you have Hardy, you will be decreasing that by another 30% via his passive as well. Now, if you want, you can decide about your damage dealer first, because it's the most important aspect of the fight besides surviving. Well, the best damage dealer for this fight is Charl. Really. Makes sense because you have AoE, but he depends on having one inheritance. And that inheritance is that amazing skill called Burning Descent. Burning Descent is a 2-hit AoE attack that starts with a spell that debuffs endurance and then uses this Erupting Flames, a C-power attack that has both hit and pierce. But now, why is this guy so powerful? Because he gets a 50% attack boost every time he attacks. Lasts for 5 turns. So he also chases on overdrive. There will be turns where he will be boosting his damage by 150%. And since it's all AoE and he can keep using this if you have a BP battery, Charl can finish this fight in as much as 5 turns with a perfect squad. But 7 turns is also very easy to achieve. Now that you have your damage dealer, you, well, could use anyone else, like for example Apollo, that I don't have, the latest one. He's very useful here. Virgil is also very useful during this fight if you have him. The latest Julian is also very useful here because he gets added attacks when he's hit with indirect attacks, and most of the attacks are indirect. He has a pierce attack when he's attacking as well, and the chases are pierce based, but he takes too much time to finish the fight. You have to bring lots of offensive supports and a secondary damage dealer as well. Because of that, theoretically, you can also get some good damage with C-Link, but she's also single target. And Pamela that I don't have. And probably many other pierce damage dealers that we'll see. But right now, those are the ones that I can suggest. I will need a lot of defense boost, so I brought Darius. He's the best one here because he heals and gives defense boosts, and also gives increase in overdrive damage. That's very useful during this fight because, like I said, my Charl already chases on overdrive and he has very good sustain as well, so he increases my damage output. But another very important character here is Katarina, because Katarina is a monster. She has 25% damage reduction at all times. If you have inheritance, you can inherit Ice Fox or Ballet. That decreases skill damage by 35%. And she has Free Range Sword that decreases between 2 or 3 times 15%. And, well, she also allows you to have many different passives via Weak Defense and Resist Offense. Resist Offense gives you offensive buffs if you are resisting the enemy's damage, and will be, and even gets BP. And the Weak Defense will give us defensive buffs if we land weak attacks, and we'll be landing, but not all the time. So it's better to think about Katarina as a support that will resist even further and give you offensive capabilities. Now, I also have RG, like I said, he's my BP battery. He's also someone here that decreases indirect damage. And I do have Matri that may not feel like she's totally needed, but she does help a lot because of heal. And even though she buffs on start and the enemies will be removing your buffs, she still allows your characters to self-buff when they are attacking, and that increases damage potential by quite a lot. Now, let's talk about replacements. If you don't have this Darius, you can bring Liz, for example. You need a combination of other characters. If you don't have Katarina, you probably will need Empress, and you can use her Empress Shield either on turn 3 and 6 or on turn 1 and 2 to decrease damage taken and survive. Other replacements for these two characters will be either Gerard, Enya, and Candy, because Candy can decrease skill damage. He is the best one to replace Hardy. But you can also use Shirei or the newest Thomas that also replaces as a BP battery. And as for Matchwork, you can try the S-Word version of Rock Bouquet if you want. Or, I don't know, maybe Nala's daughter can help you as well, since you'll be generating lots of VP. She gives lots of defense boosts as well. She would probably work in the setup, but you don't really need a buffer like Matriarch. You can also bring Muse to decrease the chance of being inflicted with ailments. If you have a strong damage dealer, it will totally protect you. Now, as for equipments, you should bring anything that will help you reach at least 35 points of resistance with all of your characters, so that Katarina passive works. But you should ignore shadow damage. Just go for Slash, Blunt, Pierce, and Heat. As you can see, all of my characters have at least 35 with the combination of the equipment I have. Now, with all that said, let's go to the fight. Okay, we start with Overdrive, but let's talk about these enemies first. The Sandinos have lots of damage, like I told you. Most of their attacks are indirect, save for some. The shadow attack is just to poison you, so it doesn't matter. They have accuracy effects. They get this attack boost every turn. On start of turn, it will recover HP and remove the buffs applied. So this is one of those moments where Summer Orlette doesn't work well. And on odd turns, gets a heat up that increases damage potential by 15% for the whole fight. So they become stronger, and you don't want to fight this for too long, or else you end up dying. As for the other stuff, on turn 3, Sandinos will cast a passive on the start of the turn. That's before anyone else, where they will get an attack and defense boost. Each time you hit any of them, you hit it one, all of them will get this attack and defense boost for that turn. So you have to either use delayed attacks to not trigger those things, or use skills with your characters that don't perform a damage hit, like healing, buffing with Matriarch. We'll be discussing this when the time comes. And they also have this buff break that will remove all buffs to your squad. I don't see buff break in this fight too much. I feel like it's only if you are buffing too much. But on turn 3, they will be using force break and choose usually 3 targets and break their buffs. So you'll be unprotected. And if you debuff them too much, they will probably use the fight weakness, but I never saw this happening. When I started this fight, I tried to bring the buffers, but they really didn't help much. So you could, but then you should be careful. Charl should be probably the best debuffer to use here, because she still has a skill that does not do damage every 3 turns, Vortex. But she will remove your buffs as well, so she doesn't combo well with Matriarch. Some of their attacks will apply ailments, and they also have Suck Blood, that they will be doing this on every 3 turns, trying to recover some HP. They also always recover HP by the end of turns. Now that we know the rules of the fight, we can start with full overdrive. I'll be using Great Banquet of Enjoyment because we need all of those defense boosts we can get. Katarina will use Ice Fog's Verbal A because I have the inheritance. If you don't, just use Fear and Schwert. And I have Hardy that will be giving VP to everyone. I will be switching the targets with those two because there's another thing about this fight. You need to kill them all at once, if possible, because if you kill one, they will change their behavior and they will get into the special phase every 2 turns instead of every 3 turns. And if there's just one left, every turn they get into the special phase, and it will be impossible to do damage unless you have damage dealers with delay. And even then, they have multi-hits. Every new hit will apply the attack and defense boost. That's really not good. So start by using your best skills and try to protect yourself. And Charl will be using Burning the Sand. Charl is perfect for this fight. He deals insane amounts of damage because, like I said, he gets attack boosts every time he lands an attack, and he will have enough VP to use this every turn. Okay, Katarina got 5 VP. Well, Hardy gives a lot of VP, but Darius also gives 5 to a random target. High drive. That's nice. Chasing. They don't have that much HP as some other boss fights, but they are annoying as hell. First usage of this skill. It's overdrive, so he's chasing. Look. 500,000 with this last hit already. See, the damage is pretty high. Sandstorm is a very strong skill, like I said. We got the darkness effect. It doesn't really matter in this fight, but it's just so you know that your will is not high enough. Now, another great Banquet of Enjoyment. Katarina will be using Furen Sword. This will apply defense boosts. And you should always choose the target that has more HP. Are you using Ki Slash? May heal. If you like you need, you can use Heaven's Heal. And I will be healing. And Charl will be using another Burning Descent. Since they have too many AoEs, they really trigger all of the defensive passives from Katarina. You'll be getting buffs, you'll be getting attack boosts. You only attack it twice, so 2 defense boosts applied. We got a combo, and Charl is buffing himself more. Already on 700,000 damage. See, the Matriarch still got poisoned because she's the one that doesn't attack, so she doesn't get her own passives or trigger many of Katarina passives too. That's why you need to triple promote Matriarch as soon as possible. Now it's the turn where they will be doing their thing, so Darius doesn't attack, so it doesn't matter. Katarina can either use Fear and Sword again, or she can also use Guarding Ice Slash. That's cheap. I don't know what to do here. There's no real answer. You can use this to get defense boost for the next turn. Even through it will trigger their stuff, but you can use Hardy to heal. You can use it 2 times and use it on someone that you will receive 5 VP as well. Check what of your characters have less VP, and in this case, all of them will have a lot of VP. It's good that Katarina always have enough VP if you want, or Charl. Or even himself, but he has too much already. I'm gonna give it to Charl. And this is not a turn where I need to heal, so I'm gonna use Paean of Exaltation. And you can still use Burning Descent with Charl again if you feel like. Use this on this turn. We may even maybe finish this fight by turn 5. I'm gonna bet. But you see what happens when you attack then on this turn. Charl will attack then 4 times with just the chase attack. 2 other times with his AoE. And Katarina will attack between 2 or 3 times. We'll trigger their passives way too much. But we do have a very defensive squad in this fight, so we'll see. First hit deals a lot of damage. You did a lot. Get it up in flames. And damage from now on is terrible. Get about damage. Did 2, and then she still has her chase. Now, he got many attack and defense moves. Shows harder to remove buffs. At least it's on Matriarch. If it's Matriarch, it's the worst thing. Because she doesn't self-buff too much. See that Hardy got poisoned? Just died. I feel like it's okay. We can still finish this because I need just 1 more turn. And I will be super offensive now. I got angry. I'm gonna use Advancing Charge. And Ice Fog's Ballet. I will recover him. I don't know if he will be alive for too much time. But it's time to use another Burning Descent. Not actually use it this overdrive then, because if I had waited, then I would have casted at least this skill defense boost to Hardy. I'll make mistakes, right? Yeah, they will die on turn 5. RG got stunned but didn't die. Hey. He is on overdrive, and this is the turn where we'll be killing them. If possible. Enjoyment. During Schwartz. Good fishing dynamics. Saltation and burning the scent. Charl is on his full potential because this is turn 5. His buffs last for 5 turns. I just wanted to speed run, but you should not be doing what I did. See, we did got how much? 1.6 million damage. One is already dead because of his random targets. They would change their behavior. Maybe they won't even have their turn 6 where they do all this strange stuff. That would be actually better for Charl. Oh, I just wanted to see if it was possible to... Whoa! To speedrun in 5 turns. 1 million damage she did there. Probably can speedrun for 5 turns. If Hardy didn't die. Doesn't have a very strong attack. This one will do a little more. See you everyone, and finish with... this time it's Blaze Javelins because it's too late. But let's see if they would trigger their... yeah, Seed Survival. So, it's the last one, and when it's the last one, they do it every turn. That won't matter. My characters are fully buffed at this point. Fuck. It was fun, but don't play like me. Play it more safe on turn 3 and then turn 6, then turn 9. Don't do that much damage, and thanks so much for watching. Hope this can help you finishing the stage. I hope to see you soon in the next video or live stream. Bye.